It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your feel-good breakfast show. We're live at S3. This is Expresso, and we are expressing our right to shine a light on something so important. And as we continue to make sure that International Transgender Day of Remembrance tomorrow is properly appreciated, we're so pleased to engage with a trailblazing creative voice in this space. Now, coincidentally, I am sitting alongside Zoey Brown. The guest's name is Zoey Black. And her YouTube channel, which explores social and lifestyle issues pertaining to the transgender and gender diverse communities of South Africa, is the first of its kind in the country. So she's with us today to make sure that she shares her experience, of course, and just to ensure that transgender women in Mzansi are appreciated and we understand so much more about their plight, the stories, the narratives, so we can get educated and let's start be a bit more wakker, okay? That's why we do this in the morning. So presenting to you, please welcome Zoey Black. How's it going?
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. Zoey Black and Zoey Brown. Zoey Black.
It's meant to be.
Are you going to say name and surname the whole time?
I'm going to proper say Zoey Brown. Would you like to ask Zoey Black the first question?
I would. Because you know what, when it comes to, like, especially if you grapple with your identity, it is difficult. It is such an intense and personal journey. Do you mind sharing a little bit about the path you have walked and why you are such a strong activist?
How long has it been now? I think I came out like 6, 7 years ago, maybe. I remember where I was in the bath, I was like scrolling on YouTube. I came across this channel that was run by this gender therapist who kind of was proceeding to ask all these questions about, you know, your identity. Did you feel like this when you were growing up? How do you feel about your body, etc.? And I watched the next video after the next video and the next video, and I got out of the bath. I was still in the towel, and I said to my partner at the time, I came out of the bathroom and I was like, babes, I think I'm trans. And she was like, okay. And that was it. And then I kind of did the things that I needed to. It was very, very difficult for me coming out because at that time, there was like no visibility, or at least there was nothing that I could find at the time. And so as a way to kind of make narratives like mine more accessible, I then started being a little bit more public about myself. I started a blog and then fairly recently started a YouTube channel, apparently.
Apparently, yes.
Well, now you are what you wish you had when you were coming out.
I know, that's a weird space to be in, but very, very cool.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful connection. Like you literally closed the loop on that because that's the inspiration. Now you get to become the inspiration. That's like an organic energy that I appreciate so much. But now, with your journey, you had to sort of curate what type of things you're going to deal with on this YouTube series, right? It's going to be trans rights, but there are a bunch of other things. So how do you go about, you know, creating this content and unpacking what is something so important? What is your method to actually bring this to life?
When I started the channel, I literally just wanted to post this one video because I had changed my name with the Department of Home Affairs. And I posted that on Instagram. And then somebody said, can you do like a longer form of it? Because the process is quite detailed.
Yes.
And so then I was like, okay, so I whipped out like my 10-year-old camera and then quickly filmed it and posted that, and people kind of were like, this is amazing. And then I just posted the next video and the next and the next. And so the channel has kind of grown out of a space of just kind of being information-based to, I guess, where the focus of my work has largely been over a number of years around just kind of broadening just visibility for trans people, because we're always like framed in this way that's, oh, our lives are so tragic and like it's so difficult, and it is, but we're also human beings who have whole lives and are just like everybody else. So I've kind of taken to like a kind of vlog style in my videos, which I think is a nice kind of accessible way to reach broader audiences.
And I mean, it's nice to listen to you talk and like you're telling a story and you're keeping us captivated. So that is what you need for a YouTube channel, and it's just you want to keep people engaged. I love that you mentioned you also had to change your name at Home Affairs. How do you find, you know, as a South African, how is our constitution and our legal system towards people, you know, that are going through the transgender journey?
So maybe right off the bat, so trans people in this country don't enjoy like special rights, right? So we have this constitution that pretty much like blanketly protects everyone, trans people included in that. We've had like over a period of time conversations around, particularly because of our apartheid history, conversations around race in particular. But I don't think we've had that same kind of conversation as it pertains to gender. and women's issues. In the kind of crafting of the Constitution, one of those protected grounds was, you know, that non-discrimination clause that prevents the state or any person from discriminating against anybody on a number of bases, and one of those things is race and gender. A bit of legislation was also passed in 2003 called the Alteration of Sex Description and Sex Status Act 49 of 2003. We call it Act 49 for short, because it's a mouthful. And effectively, this bit of legislation allows trans and intersex persons to amend their gender marker with the Department of Home Affairs.
Okay.
But there are a whole bunch of hoops that you have to jump through in order to do this.
Yeah.
So it's not a straightforward process.
No, it isn't. So anybody in this country you can go to Home Affairs and amend your name. That's like great. But if you want to amend your gender marker, the way that the law is crafted and the way that it's been interpreted means that you have to go and see 2 physicians and have them write letters, reports that you have in fact undergone what they term as gender reassignment. So you either have to have something like medical intervention or surgical intervention to be able to amend your gender marker, which isn't really a kind of human rights framework. It's very medicalized, and it's problematic in that kind of way, because we know that access to healthcare in this country is a
Not
major,
everyone has
major...
the funds to have surgeries.
And in this country, as far as I'm aware, there are only 2 state facilities in the country that provide gender-affirming care to trans people. So your ability to amend your gender marker is directly tied to your ability to access healthcare, which is already a problem. And if you're trans in this country, it's even more of a problem.
Well, that's why we stick together and we help. And that's why we're doing this today. So on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, I'm Zoey Black. You are just an inspiration. You are. And I want many more people to actually follow you. Zoey Black, is that correct? Because there's a certain crowdfunding campaign that you can get involved with that you're going to be helping Zoey Black do something absolutely incredible, in fact. So the handle's on your screen right now. Please follow the journey, and let's stick together, because we are all humans and we're all here to look after each other. This is the community that we want to bring, especially with a day like tomorrow. So Zoey Black, thank you very much for being with Zoe Brown and I today.
I appreciate you.